It's your boy, Ed the Dread, aka Eddie Money Mouth, and you are tuned into the Money Mouth Podcast. Yeah. Welcome to another Money Mouth Monday. Jumping straight into the topic for this week. I have worked 6 days a week for the last 3 years or more. Half of that being doubles. What the fuck? No, I didn't make that up. You heard that correct. That is real. Also, a look at a Japanese way of living called Ikigai, which means a reason for being. So, yeah, I didn't make that up. I've been working too many fucking days for too many fucking longs out here. And listen, I'm not against working. I'm all for working, but when you put in all these hours, and I mean, I have surfboards and skimboards to show for it and stuff, and I own a bike. But it's not like I own a house or something like, something crazy. I don't even own my truck yet. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of work and still just grinding and grinding. But again, it's super expensive to live out here on Maui. I would honestly say that the majority of people that I know as teachers also have a second, maybe even a third job. Some of the time they're going to it right after school too. So it's not like I'm anything special when it comes to the world of employees of the DOE. Or just people that are hustling out here that aren't making residual income or like have some, big money business happening for them already. But when I looked at my taxes, and I own 3 businesses of my own, and when you look at the money that you make and the amount of time that you spend doing the things that you're doing, I had to freaking pay Uncle Sam federal tax this year because my businesses made so much money. And then, on the 15th, they sent it all of our tax revenue over to Ukraine and Israel. So, don't really want to feel like doing that anymore. So I'm going to focus more on my own businesses, which, like I said a few podcasts ago, I retired, school's out forever. But realistically, that was the profession that I had that took the most of my time. For the last 3 years, I've done a number of things, teacher or substitute teacher, whatever, surf coach, surf announcer, soccer ref. I'm also the referee assigner, so I happen to be the guy that tells all the refs what fields they're going to, and when there's issues, everyone bothers me. And when all the game reports need to be turned in, I'm the person that they come to. I worked on a farm previously, and currently am back working on a farm at least once a week as a kalo farmer up country in a dry land lowy. And I'm also a coconut farmer, sometimes a trimmer, but majority of the time a farmer, harvesting the nuts to sell and or eat myself. I also have sold the coconuts with my boy, main man, Coconut Willie, Haiku Hillbilly himself, barrel chaser. I own a landscaping business that goes with the coconut trimming. I have my own record label. I have my own clothing line. Island Vibes Records and Good Vibes Gear. So, I've spent time trying to build those up. GoodVibesGear.com website is live. You can order clothes from, and I have been the MC and host of events all the way at the playground and stuff here on Maui, which I bring all of my equipment for for Island Vibes Records too. Other than that, I do painting with 2 of my homies. My best friend does housing restoration painting. We used to do tub restoration. We now restore and paint cabinets. And, I did some demolition and some roofing with another homie that doesn't live here anymore. But the bottom line is I do a lot of stuff. Okay? And like I said, when you look at the time that you spend at the different jobs that you have, and then you actually I do math type stuff. I do marketing type stuff. I have a degree in marketing. I like looking at charts and tables. And when you put it all on a table, you're like, yo, this one takes up so much time and makes so much little money. What the fuck am I doing? And that's how it ends up, So with that said, moving forward, I'm going to try to take more of an approach such as what we're about to talk about right now, which again is Ikigai, But it's like it's set up as a four circle Venn diagram, right? With your reason for being like the middle section. Okay. And then the four circles around the outside that all overlap a little bit or overlap with the two next to each other are what you love, what you are good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Right now, the spaces that are in between those that overlap are also labeled. Between what you love and what you're good at is your passion, right? Between what you're good at and what you can get paid for is your profession. What you can be paid for and what the world's needs is your vocation, or like your specific profession, something that you would be specifically good at. And between what you love and what the world needs is your mission, right? So when you just take a look at those as a diagram, and or just think about those, and the way your life is based around those, the ways that you make money, the way that you spend your free time, um, you know it's telling to see that the life expectancy in Japan is like really high. When you look at something like this and basing your life around this as opposed to just work, 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 which you also hear a lot of out of Japan. But just like anything by Western media and or what we're told, I'm just gonna go with that. Working yourself to death may just be in the cities. I doubt that people are doing that out in the country. I doubt that people are doing that in suburban areas. I mean, I'm sure the cities are very, very super densely populated. And just as America, crazy stuff happens in the cities, which most likely doesn't happen so often in the places in between those, right? So, life expectancy for Japan is like 85. I think they're in the top three, like at all times in the top three for life expectancy. And America, I think we make it in the top 50. I'm not sure. It's not like our life expectancy is a very large amount off of 83. I think it's like 78 years or something is average. But I beg to say that that is probably because we have good medicine. like, uh, yeah, I mean, I go to the beach very often. Come on, bro. We got a super unfit society in America. And when the number one cause of death is heart disease, and then the number one cure for heart disease is like exercise and a balanced diet, it's like a shame to think of, you know? Um, so anyway, getting back to the Ikigai, uh, what you love to do. I mean, clearly that's going to be your passion, right? Uh, when you have something that you love to do, you're most likely going to get good at it because you actually like to do it and you're going to spend a lot of time doing it, right? So that passionate thing could lead you in one direction, right? I would like to say that, what the world needs is more teachers. And that was the thing that I was willing to jump into because I'd never been a teacher before. It it came to me as a suggestion by the homie Alec. Again, big up Alec. Thank you so much. Dude's getting married soon. Woo! We're gonna be throwing that guy up in a chair up in September. It's gonna be crazy, right? But I had been a coach my whole life and never been in a classroom in the front of it and never even thought about it. I mean, I used to say this in the class all the time. Like, if you would have told me when I was the student's age that I was talking to that I would be the person sitting in the front of this class right now, I would have laughed it in your face. But there I was, and it's just something that my community needed, whether it's the world, your community, whatever. It doesn't have to be so broad, but just what's needed in the area that you live in, right? Where can you be utilized? That's like a mission, right? It's something that you may need to accomplish, right? You're probably going to want to put some effort into accomplish, and then having that mission accomplished is going to help a backbone to all the other things that you like to do because again, you worked for people in your community, you worked for other people in the world, right? And you were doing something that you love to do. So you were probably enthusiastic about it. Right? When you look at what your profession is, what you're good at and what you can get paid for, um I mean, I think that I had the blessing of my my parents and them giving me the freedom to choose what I did. And, as long as I had a job in the off seasons and when I wasn't in school, like I could pretty much do whatever. So I got to follow any of the things that I wanted to try and get good at, right? And the majority of my professions have been something to do with sports, or something to do with athleticism, and relaying that to people that are younger than me, that are trying to reach their goals in the same athletic endeavor, right? So the things that you're good at, if you apply them to getting paid, clearly that will be a successful profession for you because you'll be willing to put in that extra time. And if telling you that I had like 9 to 10 to 12 to 15 jobs and worked doubles a lot of the days out of the year, doesn't tell you that, you're probably going to have to put in a bit of effort, then I don't know what would tell you. You know what I'm saying? But to get good at something, you got to put in a lot of effort. And then to get a good business or to get something successful, you're going to have to put in a lot of effort. And to be honest, it's probably going to be more than just like a 40-hour week if you're the person doing all the work. And then for that final piece of the Venn diagram, your vocation, or like a suitable career for you, we should say, right? Like sometimes the thing you're good at and the thing that you can get paid for, might not be like what you really, really like doing anymore. I've been caught in that scenario a number of times where, you've just done this thing for so long and yeah, you're good at it and you might get paid a bunch of money for it. But like you're over it, you know? So when you look at that last section of what you can get paid for and what the world or what your community needs and what your vocation would be or like your suitable career, that's something that we would say you could step into to be a help, but also at the same time, like you said, get a paycheck behind it. Because if you look at the Boys and Girls Club, if you look at Special Olympics, if you look at things like that, like things that I've personally done, those are volunteer jobs, right? So they may be something that your community needs. They may be something that the world needs, but you aren't getting paid for them. So, it's like a hobby as opposed to a vocation. So again, if you're looking to have a mission, a passion, profession, vocation, uh, and follow things that you love, what you're good at, and such, I would suggest taking a look at this Japanese train of thought, right? I personally am about to use this to try to figure out, how much percentage of time I'm going to put into these different things that I have going on. Because, now that I've cleared up like 8 hours a day, clearly we have to make money, but there's a lot more time to do more creative and free stuff to open up more doors. So again, Ikigai, a Japanese way of thinking, a reason for being, which again could be part of why people have a life expectancy of up to 85 years old in Japan. In America, I'm thinking that our life expectancy is kind of skewed because of health and pills and such. And just, keeping people alive that if you ain't give them all this help, they might not really make it like that. Which is neither here nor there. I'm like, whatever, right? But it will lead me into the last segment that we have for the day, which may be like a common segment until the election happens, right? This is going to be our presidential athlete off. Presidential athlete off. I don't even fucking know. Feats of strength for the presidents. Again, Alec and Doug came up with this one. It was out of the presidential candidates, who do you think would be able to hold a plank longest? Yeah, crickets, right? Fucking. I don't think, just as push-ups, I don't think that Biden would be able to get down onto the ground and like move. I think that like once he's there, he's probably just there. They might not even let him lay down for bed at night. He might just have to sit in the chair upright and fucking just whoop, pop back up in the day. Because that guy, I don't know. He's like a fucking robot. That guy's like an AI already. And then Scrump, fuck, bro, he get a gut. So, I don't know if his plank might even be considered a plank. Cause he might just, if he's holding like a forearm plank, bro, his gut might just be touching the ground. So we gotta figure out. But if they let the homeboy RFK in, that guy's for sure. He's for sure gonna be able to plank. That guy's like a fucking falconeer, and he does like all sorts of shit. He's doing like pull ups and shit. But these other mopes, bro, these two fucking 80-year-old deadbeats, dog. Feats of strength, my ass. So whatever. I don't know. I think that one of the homies thought that Biden would be able to be the one that would hold the plank longer, and then the other homie thought that Scrump would hold the plank longer. I think that neither of those two are going to be able to plank. I think they're both going to fail miserably, just like their careers as politicians. And with that said, that is the end of your Money Mouth Monday. Thank you for tuning into the Money Mouth Podcast, brought to you by Island Vibes Records, Good Vibes Gear, and Kahoo to the Rescue, your coconut farming, landscaping, and handyman service. Click that like button, smash subscribe, as all the people say, or smash yourself in the face. Don't even matter, because you're going to wish you subscribed later after the shit blows up. All right? Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. A hooey ho caco.